All right, this is Indigo, and we are at Wondercon 2016. I'm just gonna let you introduce yourself. What's your name, and what are you doing here?
Hi, I'm Mike Matola, and I'm here with LinebyLine.com and Winken, Blinken, and Nod.com. Two things that are very, very close to my heart.
Well, the reason I wanted to interview is last time I saw you, I was at Long Beach Comic Con, and I bought some of your posters and absolutely fell in love with it. I wanted to know where you decided to come up with the idea, and let's just start with that.
Well, I wanted to come up with a really special birthday gift for a friend of mine, and I had no money. And I literally just had an art pad and a pen, and she loves Radiohead at the time, and she had even mentioned, like, if you ever do any Radiohead artwork, oh, I would love that. I thought, well, what would be cool? I could do a portrait. Yeah, that's okay. Try something. And I thought, what would be fun? And just to really put a lot of work into it, really, detail. Because when you don't have money, you want to show, like, I worked this hard for what have you. So I decided to write out every song, every lyric from the first 8 Radiohead albums to make a portrait of Tom York. And so it took me a couple months, and I was just, tooling around with it, and I gave it to her. She was like, what? What is this? I was like, I hope you like it. Sorry, I couldn't buy anything. And she was like, no, how do you do it? I was like, I don't know. I can just do it. I enjoy it. I really enjoyed, the process. She's like, you have to do more. And she's like, I will. So I was able to pick out really movies and albums and songs that I really, really enjoy and just dive into them and create this artwork.
So after you did the Radiohead one, what was your next group that you decided to work on?
I did the Beatles.
Nice.
I did the first 8 Beatles albums across the 4 prints, portraits of all of them, John, Paul, Ringo, and George. Yeah.
So you said the first one took you a couple months. Now, have you refined it? Does it still take you a couple months to make the print, or?
I refined it ish. I mean, it's still a slog. It's still running through mud. It's kind of a testament to dedication. It's craftsmanship over creativity,
Sure, absolutely.
And these things take anywhere from 18 working hours to 36 working hours to days to months to weeks. The Totoro print that I did completely in Japanese took 6 months because I don't speak Japanese.
So, which one is your personal favorite that you love the most?
My personal favorite might be a tie between the Totoro piece, because that was like the hardest one. I really wanted to challenge myself and took so long, or the Ghostbusters piece, because I love the pose I got, the scene I took them from in the elevator. Their expressions are just perfect. Bill Murray, perfect Dan Aykroyd. That's probably the closest one to my heart. Yeah.
So after you started doing this, how long did it take you to start getting into comic books, or was comic books something that you started with first? And
comic books was something I've always loved and always grew up with and always did and always made comics and drew and I would specialize in like one-page comics, or I grew up reading Foxtrot and Batman and Tim Sale and all those great artists and Jim Lee and everything. And then I was with my friend, I met Tim Prettyman, my cohort over here, at an art show, underground art show in LA, and I was like, I like your style, and we just became fast friends, and we started doing shows together. And then a third buddy of mine, Dave Kane, he came into my office one day and he's like, hey, we should make a comic book. And I was like, what? He's like, I got an idea. You know what I mean? Like the classic, I got an idea to rob a bank. And I think you guys can do it. And it was a perfect, I was like, oh, no, I can't. And he's like, no, Tim can do it. You do the, and I was like, this might work. Yeah. So then we were like, all right, let's do it. And it was great. The three of us how do you make a comic book? I don't know, you just start. People ask me that about I think it's one of the things I learned with my posters. It's to make your first comic book is a long and grueling process, and it's, how do you do it? You just start. How do you run a marathon? One foot in front of the other. You will get to the finish line, just keep moving forward. And we got our first comic book out.
And when did that one actually come out?
This one came out, we debuted it this year at Long Beach Comic Expo. Winken, Blinken, and Nod. You can get a digital download at winkenblinkenandnod.com. And find us here at Wondercon. The first issue debuted at Long Beach Comic Expo, and now it's Wondercon debut, and then the second issue debut will be in San Diego. So and find us online and everything, and we're going to have all the shows this year, and there's going to be 4 issues, and we're going to make a nice big book out of it. We're super excited about it.
That's super. I got the comic when I saw you last, and I've gone through the comic. I bought,
you read it?
Yeah.
You liked it?
I like it.
Wonderful. That's all I need. Everyone's got a comic book, but a comic book that someone likes.
Absolutely.
That's the trick.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Of course.
And
anything you need.
Good luck, man.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.